Hey traders, Nick here looking at Mara. Okay, so down big time today, 25%. Hopefully nobody's watching this holding a big bag there. I don't have a trade currently. This video is to help a few friends to see if this is a good knife to catch. The easy answer to that is yes, but the tough part is where do I do it? So first things first, the one time I did offer an entry point, it was in June, and it was on a dip. This candle right there caught the falling knife, but this was a different situation than here. First of all, the drop wasn't as significant, and it had some time had passed before a huge rip like this one. So slightly different scenario and better pivot point. But having said that, I'm not scared of going long a big falling knife. This is a big machete right here. First of all, that's the biggest candle I see for at least a year. So the odds of it being just one day, not very high, meaning there could be some secondary selling, forced selling to satisfy some margin calls if people who chased it borrowed money to buy it. The risk reward ratio for the lenders, in this case the broker, would have issues with it, so I don't know about that. Okay, so let me show you the lines I have there. At the time I thought, okay, I'm going to catch the falling knife. This is relevant to how I would catch the falling knife here. I wasn't expecting an immediate bounce. I was expecting maybe a follow through, but eventually a return to here, and it did that, but it was slightly skew, like off to the right with timing. You can see that it came back to where I thought it would go back. And then this was a completely new trade, and right here was a completely new trade with an upside potential of a huge cup and handle to go to the moon. They filled that almost entirely. So somebody who chased it up here either has a super long term perspective on the company or does not know anything about charts. It's not an insult. It's just that if I was looking at this breakout, this is about the measured move I would expect from it, the depth of the bowl, cup, whatever you want to call it. So let's say from 20 to 43, so $13-ish from here. So 53, it over delivered. So not a clear entry point anywhere up here. How about this? Okay, fair enough. So now, not a clear entry point from the standpoint, way better than up here, but if you're trying to time it perfectly, you don't have an indication. Now, couple things going for it. First of all, this failure up here. It's important. This one, and that one. So that makes the whole zone above 48 supportive. And look, it repeats itself here. So this candle right there matters. That puts it at 47. This candle right here matters. 56. That's a big range because it moves fast. But that is where there should be buyers because they failed up here miserably. They took their time recovering. They came back to it, fought it out for, I don't know, a few days, and then ballistic. Now, I know this is sensitive to crypto, so we also had a huge influx of adoration for crypto. I believe Bitcoin also had some sort of a new technological update recently. It hasn't happened in a while. So there's going to be interest in crypto, just a matter of timing. This alone has support, in my opinion. I would not buy the dip immediately. If I'm long, I most definitely would not add at this point. First of all, I don't like averaging down because if you have a problem, you just made it bigger. The only reason people would average down is if they are good with charts and they're just trying to get out on a bounce. But if I bought it here, and today is 25% cheaper, okay, so from a percentage basis, it might make sense, but just one day, I wouldn't add after just one day. If you're saying, oh, it's going to come back, then why are you adding if it's going to come back? It's just too soon for me. If I bought anywhere here, I'm not adding here. I'm not giving anybody advice. I'm telling you what I wouldn't do. I would not add because you didn't learn anything today that you didn't know yesterday. And except a huge drop in the price. I don't know if it had a headline or not. I really don't give a crap about headlines. Trying to scan real quickly here. Marathon plans, 500 million convertible. Okay, convertible serial notes. Okay, so maybe dilution. That's a big offering if it's taking away 25%. If the market is immediately taking 25% away and it's a convertible senior note out in time, that's a big dilution. I'm not one to believe in that. That's an overreaction. But again, the support is not razor sharp. So it's a big zone. Personally, I would wait for 44. I can't tell you it's coming, but it could. Anywhere below 48. How about this? Below 48, I'd be interested. You know that blue-red? It's not a tradable thing. It's just a regression line, basically reversion to the mean. This area would be reverting to the mean. This overshoot. That was an overshoot, clearly. So I don't know what Bitcoin did today. Let's go see. Okay, so Bitcoin didn't have a good day either, so that added to the problem that Mara had. Confluence of headlines, valuation, dilution matters, but 25% in one day, boy, that would be one giant offering. I didn't do the math. You can do the math on your own. If I were to answer, if my brother comes to me and say, hey, I'm looking to buy the dip on Mara, I'd say give it a day or two. What do you got to lose? A few upside potential, upside bucks? I'm fine. It moves way too fast for me to say I would jump in right now. Support is there, but it's a big zone. That's for starters. And there's better support lower. So I'm patient waiting for it. If I wanted to go long one way or another, if you force me to say you have to trade it today, long or short, I would go long, but I would sell a put to own the shares. How does that work? I took a peek at the options, and if I promise somebody that I will buy their shares at 40, they will pay me almost $400 right now for 100 shares. So the worst case scenario of that trade is I get long Mara at 40, and my break-even point would be 36 right here. So that's how I would use options to get in. This is not a trade recommendation. Doing something like this is, for somebody that hasn't done it before, is playing with fire. And if I'm doing it and I don't want to own shares, I'm making a big mistake. The only time I would do this is if I wanted to own shares. This is a way to get long using options and leaving another, 35% worth of mistakes. So let's say they want to drop it another 35%. That's where I would break even if they put me to stock. That's the easiest way I can say it. There's a lot of support right here, but for the next $10, as I noted earlier, there's more support, level support at 44. There's volume support at 38, and there's another level support at 31, just under. Take your pick. And the worst case scenario, if it goes back to this base, that's another level of support. So personally, I would get long anywhere below 44, personally. I could wait out this mess. I'm not that interested in chasing it here. This market is full of amateurs, and I just don't want to fight with them. Let them do whatever they want. I posted one comment about QuantumScape. Not offending it. I'm just saying it's not an obvious entry point, and I noted why, because that was a level that was a game changer a few months ago. Immediately get 2 posts, calling me names or whatever. So clearly there's a lot of emotion out there. So you don't want to fight with these. Use levels and stay completely agnostic as far as emotions. This is investing. It's not a love affair. Anyway, Nick signing out.